If you're trying to get started in real estate without using your own credit or traditional loans, you're not crazy. In fact, you're probably smarter than most. Creative finance is one of the most powerful tools in real estate. But here's the part most people miss. Even though it works across the country, there's certain areas it's going to work even better in. In this video, I'm going to share the top 5 states where creative financing like seller financing, subject tos, lease options are still working even better in 2025. Let's get into it. So first off, what is creative financing? Well, if you're new to creative financing, all it means is you're buying properties directly from a seller rather than going to a bank. So instead of 20% down, huge stacks of paperwork and credit checks, you're negotiating directly with the seller to get terms like low or no down payments, payments directly to the seller, or being able to take over a seller's loan without qualifying for one yourself. That's called subject to, seller financing and lease options. All legal, all ethical, and all still working right now if you know where to look. Now, like I said, even though creative finance can work anywhere, there's certain areas where it can work even better. So when you're looking for an area, look for an area where sellers are looking to get out. Homes are still affordable enough to cash flow. Landlord laws are not too extreme. And investors can still find inventory that's off the radar. So let's go ahead and get into the top 5 states where creative finance is killing in today's market. Coming in at number 5, we got the state of North Carolina. Now, I've personally seen and done some of the cleanest creative finance deals right here in North Carolina. Why is North Carolina in the top 5? Well, you got some strong landlord rights here. Also, you can still find affordable homes under $200,000 in cities like Greensboro, Fayetteville, and Winston-Salem. In addition to that, you got a lot of older landlords who's done with the business, but they're open to terms like creative financing. Plus, you got a growing population in North Carolina, and that equals rental demand. You can do seller financing, subject tos, and lease options all day long in North Carolina, especially if you stay out of the major cities like Charlotte and Raleigh. So that's why North Carolina came in at number 5 for the top 5 states to do creative financing in. Let's move into the next one. Coming in at number 4, you got the state of Indiana. Now, Indiana is definitely slept on, but if you're looking for steady cash flow and open-minded sellers, Indiana is a gold mine. Cities like Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, and Evansville are packed with aging inventory. Plus, a lot of the homes in these areas are free and clear, which is great for seller financing. Now, in addition to that, there's a lot of blue-collar homeowners in these areas. Now, blue-collar homeowners are more flexible when it comes to exit strategies. So that makes a great opportunity for creative finance deals. And in addition to that, you got low acquisitions costs in Indiana, which makes it easier for beginners. Recently, one of my coaching clients who's in Indianapolis picked up a great creative finance deal. It's a $190,000 house. The sellers are getting a divorce. They owe $103 on it. The current mortgage is only $900 a month and it can easily rent for $1,500 a month as is. When my coaching client approached the sellers, they were literally begging him to take the deal. He walked away with the contract with no money out of pocket. That's a great creative finance deal right in the Indy market. So that's why Indiana comes in at number 4 of the top 5 states where you can do creative finance deals in 2025. Let's move into number 3. At number 3, we got the state of Alabama. Now, why is Alabama ranked at number 3? Well, you got older properties, lower price points, and tons of motivated sellers. When you look at areas like Birmingham and Montgomery, they have great submarkets. And on top of that, inherited properties and tired landlords are everywhere. One of the best things about Alabama is title companies are more than likely going to be familiar with creative finance deals. So closing deals going to be a lot easier. And in Alabama, it's not just about the cash flow. It's about how open the sellers are to having real conversations about their situation, making creative finance deals that much easier to do. So that's the state of Alabama coming in at number 3 for you. At number 2, we got the state of Texas, specifically secondary markets in the state of Texas. Now, Texas is a tricky one. In the big cities like Dallas and Houston and Austin, the prices are high and the sellers have options. But in smaller cities like Waco, Killeen, Lubbock, or Wichita Falls, that's where the creative finance deal is alive right now. Why is that the case? Well, you got huge population growth and rental demand in those areas. Also, you got less competition from national investors, making it a much easier place to invest. In addition to that, you got a strong investor community that understands subject tos and seller financing. Plus, there's a bunch of bootstrap landlords that's open to terms. So if you're in or near Texas, don't sleep on those in-between markets. That's where the leverage is. And that's why Texas comes in at number 2 on the list. Now, before we get to number 1 on the list, let me ask you a quick question. What's your favorite type of creative finance deal? Seller financing, subject tos, lease options? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. And share it with as many people as possible who might be interested in real estate. Now let's get on to number one. All right, so coming in at number one on the list, we got the state of Ohio, and it's not even close. Let me explain. Cities like Cleveland and Dayton and Toledo are loaded with inventory. Also, the state of Ohio has the highest free and clear property rates in the entire country. So obviously seller financing is going to be a go-to in that state. And if that's not enough, you got a bunch of older homes, tired landlords, and inherited properties that people just want to get rid of. And properties will still cash flow and price points are still low enough, making it a great opportunity for seller finance deals in the state of Ohio. Again, look in areas like Cleveland, Dayton, and Toledo, and those surrounding areas. There's a ton of inventory and a ton of opportunity in the state of Ohio. And that's why it came in at number one on the list. Now, you don't need to live in these areas in order to do deals there. Here's how to start remotely. Use software like Investor Deal Pro in order to pull leads. Look for old listings, absentee owners, or high equity homes. Skip trace the leads so you can either call the seller or text the seller directly. And use a simple script that asks questions like, would you consider taking payments over time if the price is right? Once the seller says yes, you can control the deal. You don't need to own it. All you need is the right paperwork and the right people to back you up. For example, in this video that just popped up, I did a deal in Tallahassee, Florida, and I documented the entire process. I shared all the numbers and everything. Be sure to watch that video if you want an inside scoop on how you can do this remotely. That's the power of creative finance. You can do this anywhere if you know where to look and you know what you're doing. So if you've been trying to get into real estate, but you keep hearing no from lenders, don't give up. Creative finance works once you know where to look, how to find the right deals, and how to negotiate them. And if you want the full blueprint on how you can get started doing creative finance deals in this market that we're currently in, be sure to check the link in the description box. Join my Deal Pro Academy and get access to my creative finance mastery. And in the meantime, if you got value out of this video, be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and also leave a comment. Let me know what else you want to see on this channel. I'll be sure to put that video together for you as well. I appreciate you guys' support, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care.